Once upon a time, there was a beautiful and peace-loving village nestled among the serene and beautiful nature. In that village, there lived a hard-working and ambitious boy named John. John was very humble and innocent person by nature. So everyone would like to being with him. John had a number of friends in his life and all of them were very successful and earning a lot of money in their lives, but John never felt jealous of his friends for their success. By the way, John was also somewhat successful in his life because of habit of hard work, but most of the time he felt lost in his life. He had no idea what his purpose was, and felt like he was just going through the motions of everyday life without any real direction. Sometimes he felt like he was living a meaningless existence and did not know how to change it. So one day, John decided to take a walk to the nearby beautiful river of his village to change his mind. When he was sitting under a beautiful tree near the river, John thought that if I didn't find out ahead of time what I have to do and what the purpose of my life is, then my whole life would go in vain. In his mind there was going on a storm of unnecessary and mind-disturbing thoughts which were not allowing John to sit peacefully. At the same time, he remembered that an old friend of his school time had told him about a great Buddhist monk who used to reside with his disciples in his monastery among the high mountains. That Buddhist monk was very famous in the nearby villages and cities because of his deep and profound knowledge. One thing was very popular about that Buddhist monk, that whoever troubled person used to appear before him, then that Buddhist monk used to know all his sorrows, pains and troubles with the help of his divine power, even before that person could say anything to the monk. The way to reach monastery of that divine Buddhist monk was full of many types of difficulties because many times thieves and bandits used to rob the passers-by while going on the way. And sometimes even killed them. Because of this, everyone was feared of going there. So because of this, everyone would think 10 times before going to that Buddhist monk. After many troubles and fears, when John reached the monastery, he found that the monk was sitting in solitude and absorbed in his deep meditation completely. John goes there and sits quietly and begins to wait for the master to open his eyes. When the Buddhist monk opens his eyes, he sees John sitting before his sight. After this, the monk asks John to tell his problem. On this, John poured out all of his problems and sufferings to the master. John says to the master, "Sir, nothing is going well in my life. All my friends are successful in their life and I still do not know what to do in my life. I feel lost in the ocean of life. I feel like my life is devoid of purpose." After listening to this, the Buddhist monk smiles softly and says to John, "John, my child, in this world, when one who knows what to do in his life, understand that he has become successful in his life. John, all your friends are successful in their lives. Do you know why? Because all your friends know what they have to do. So if you have to know the purpose of your life, then first sit in solitude and think and ask yourself what your mind really wants. What is such a thing in work that makes you and your soul happy? John, if you do such things in which you find joy and happiness and feel more fulfilled and contented, then the real purpose of your life starts coming to you automatically." Thereafter, that Buddhist monk takes John to a river bank where he shows some children to him. Those children were playing and having time of their lives. Those children were laughing, running around and enjoying every moment of their life. Now John could not help but feel jealous of their carefree attitude and wished he could also feel the same way. Suddenly, one of the children approached him and asked John, "Hey mister, why do you look so sad?" Then John was taken aback by the child's question, but he decided to be honest with him. So he told him the truth about his life. He told the child that he did not know what his purpose of life was, and it had been weighing him down. On this, that child looked at him and said, "I do not know what my purpose in life yet either, but I know that I am here to have fun, be happy and make the most of every moment. Maybe that's all we really need to do." John was much surprised at the child's wisdom and the way he thinks. He realized that he had been so focused on finding his purpose that he had forgotten to enjoy the journey of life. He started to see life in a new light and decided to make a change. Now John started doing things that made him happy, like painting, hiking and spending time with the loved ones. Now he also started to help others and volunteering at a local charity. He found that by doing things that brought him happiness and joy, he felt more fulfilled and contented from inside. After this life-changing incident, John got to know why that Buddhist monk had brought him here. Thereafter, the Buddhist monk says to John, "John, my child, life is not about the destination but about the journey, and that the most important thing is to enjoy every moment of life along the way. John, you can make anything or any work as your purpose of life. Like if you want to become anything, then you have to think about it day in day out, and just thinking about it will not work, you will have to work hard day and night for that. Once you find the purpose of your life, nothing can stop you from being as successful as your friends." After this, the monk said to John, "John, you do not know how many people in this world fail in their life just because they do not know the purpose of their life, and thereafter they keep blaming others for their failure in life. That is why it is very necessary to find our purpose of life. Having purpose in life makes our life meaningful. Moreover, when we know what we have to do and what we have to achieve, then our life becomes easier. Our purpose of life sometimes becomes the ultimate goal of our life. So always conscious of your life, because you are the real boatman of the ship your life." After this, the Buddhist monk along with John returns to the monastery and says to John, "I hope you have found your purpose in life." On this, John thanked the master gracefully for showing him the true path with his profound knowledge and wisdom. Now John was feeling a new sense of hope and awakening within himself. After showing the path of self-salvation to John, the monk closed his eyes once again and lost in his deep meditation. John bowed in reverence before the monk and thanked him in his heart and returned from there. Now John had found the true meaning and purpose of his life. As time went on, John's life started to take shape. He discovered that his purpose was to make a positive impact on the world and to help others in any way he could. He started working towards this goal every day. And it brought him a sense of purpose and fulfillment that he had never experienced before. In the end, John realized that his purpose was not something that he needed to find but something that he could create for himself. He learnt that life is not about any type of destination but about the excursion, and the most necessary thing is to enjoy every second of life along the way. From that day on, John lived his life with purpose and passion. After returning from the Buddhist monastery, he began to inspire others to do the same and became a shining example of how a simple change in mindset can lead to a life filled with meaning and purpose. Now those people who used to make fun of John that John did not know what to do in his life, now those people were also able to see clearly a big change inside him. Now the people of John's village started coming to him in large numbers with their problems of life, and John also started solving the problems of those people with the help of his knowledge which he had learnt from that Buddhist monk. In just a short period of time, this inspirational story of John from a man without a purpose in life to a man with a purpose in life spread far and wide. So people began to come to him for his guidance from other places too. Now John had become an embodiment of inspiration and encouragement to others. So my dear friends, remember that your purpose in life is not a destination but a journey of self-discovery. Embrace life's challenges and adventures, take risks and explore your talents and passions, and always remember that once you find your purpose of life, then everything else will fall into place.